What's up guys, Learning with Rich here. In this video, we are going to track systems using the system browser. I'm actually already showing how to use the system browser in our last couple of videos, but this time let me explore more how to use our system browser to review the systems. Okay, so if you want to show your system browser, you just need to right click and then you look for browsers. And then you just select your system browser. Okay, so you just click that and there's your system browser. So another way is by simply pressing F9. So that's the shortcut of system browser. So just press F9. Okay, press F9 and then you will see your system browser. And then you have several options here to filter the settings of your system browser. So currently, it is filtered by systems. If you click the drop-down arrow, you can see you have several options here, like if you want to check the zones in your system browser in the project, so you can use the zones here. Okay, you can also select analytical systems and electrical analytical systems if you have, but for this exercise, we will be using systems. Okay, and then for these another options here, you can filter out the disciplines. So if you only want to see mechanical, piping, and electrical. You may be wondering why is it there is an assign here. So I thought it's only mechanical. Because there are some mechanical equipments or families that has a mechanical connector that is not part of the system. That's why it is still here on our unassigned category. Okay, so that's why you have two folders here for mechanical, piping, and electrical. It's because of the connectors. So there are families that is not part of the system, which either electrical connector or piping connector or mechanical connector. Okay, so let us select here all disciplines. By the way, this one is auto fit all columns. Okay, so if you click that, it will auto fit all the columns. Now, so you have the categories here unassigned. So basically, these are the elements that is not yet part of the system. That's why if you are going to select this, it highlights, right? So meaning to say, these are the air terminal, for example, the exhaust air that is not part of the system. Okay, so that's why it's under unassigned. So it's pretty self-explanatory. So if your model or if your project is too big, your floor plan is too big, and you want to locate where is this, okay, you just right click and then you can select your show. So just click show and then you'll be able to see that closely. So it will zoom in, and if you want to look that into different views, you can select here show. Okay, but I'm not gonna do that. I'll just close this one. It will cycle to different views like section, elevation, or 3D view, but I'll just close it. Okay, so there you go. It's zoom in. So let's say this one. Oh, where is this one? So right click, select show. So it will zoom in, and then close that. Zoom out a little bit to see the exact location. So that's the one. So you can use the show option. You can also right click, and then if you want to delete that element, you can select here. You can select, and then you can select the properties. Okay, if you click the properties, of course, it will select, or it will show you here the property. Okay, so it's like you select it here on our view model. So if you click the view model, it will show you the property of that. Okay, so same way, if you right click here, it's the same. When you select properties, it will show you there the properties. Okay, so you have several options to check the property of your mechanical equipment, for example, or air terminal, or electrical family, or piping family. Okay, so now, as you can see, I have here the blue ones. The blue ones, they are the families that is already part of the system. Okay, so that is one way of checking out the color. Okay, so by default, if that particular object is part of the system, so the color changes to like a blue, red, or green. Okay, by default, it's black. if you are not applying filter to your family. So by default, it's just black. But just to make sure, you need to check if that family is part of the system. You can use the system browser. That's why we are discussing this. So click and then just collapse this one. So as you can see, as I click this one, the mechanical here highlighted. So meaning to say this is already part of the system, mechanical. So expand that one and then you can see that it's here. So this is the name of the system, SA2. So if I click SA2, let me zoom out a bit. If I click SA2, click that one, it will highlight all the air terminals and then the mechanical equipment that is part of that system. So this is the mechanical equipment, and then this is the name of the system, and then these are the air terminals. So that's how you check. Okay, you can see here the flow, you can see here the size, the space name, and then the space number. Okay, right? Okay, so another way is that if you notice here, an element that is part of the system consists of two contextual tab. So one is modify air terminals, the other one is dock system. Okay, if the object is not part of the system, like for example this one, you only have one contextual tab here, which is modify air terminals. And double check from the system browser, it's part of the unassigned system here. Okay, so this one is part of the system. So if I click this, so it contains two contextual tab. So one modify air terminals and then the other one is dock systems. Okay. Right. So what else? So basically that's how you check. So let's say, let's see the piping. So let's expand the piping here. So we have here condenser water return and condenser water supply. So if I click this, let's see, where's that? Expand. So that's the CWS one. And there you go. Okay, so that's our piping system. So you have this. You have this one. So these are the equipment that is part of that system. So we don't have any system on our electrical. So that's how you track the systems using the system browser. This is very important because in Revit MEP, you need to create a system for you to be able to model your BIM correctly. Okay? So you can check your families if they are part of the system or not. So if it is not, so you need to include them to the system, and you can use the system browser to track the systems. Okay, if the element is part of the system or if it is not part of the system. All right, so that's it for this simple exercise. So this is part of your Revit for mechanical certification exam. So better to explore your system browser. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.